Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant and welcome back for more of Let's Play Pokémon SoulSilver. Before we get started here, I did do the off-screen unknown catching I said I was going to do, and that actually took about 45 minutes. It really wasn't that bad. I'm just going to switch out Duster real quick, because we're going to be heading somewhere with him. But yes, as you can see, I have an entire box in the PC dedicated to catching the unknown here. Every letter in the alphabet from A to Z. I think I took about 55 Pokeballs, so on average it was about 2 per one, which is a little bit higher than I expected, but still, it didn't take much longer than it would to catch a typical legendary, so there really wasn't any reason for me not to. We'll see the fruits of our efforts later, but for now, it's just cool to have a box of them there. And since we're already in Ecruteak City, there is one building in here I failed to show off the last time we were here. And since we complained about not being able to catch the Pokemon that's here, I figure we might as well show off as much of the area leading up to Bell Tower as we can. The rainbow-hued Pokemon. Now these monks, I suppose they're training so that they may one day be able to see the Pokemon that rests up here, but we're not going to be able to travel up for a very, very long time. I just figured I'd show as much of this place as I can. If you have the badge from the Ecruteak Gym, you can head through this hallway down here leading up to the tower, but they won't let you go all the way up. And this is a really, really nice area back here. They cut out the music too. You can find a couple of mushrooms lying around. No reason to pass up free money if you can. I forget if these things respawn or not, but still, they're here. Might as well pick them up. I don't remember if there were any other areas like this where you can pick up a ton of mushrooms here and there. I know there was one in the 5th gen where you could come back every day and pick up more mushrooms. But here it is. The Bell Tower. It's a shame we won't be able to go up here for a while, but it's nice to know that it's here. And you can see it has the same spire shaking in the middle of it, like, I think the Sprout Tower had one of those, and the Burn Tower, the Brass Tower over to the other side of the city had one of those as well, but it burned down. Which is a shame. I should probably get around to catching the legendary beasts eventually. Because Raikou and Entei are still running around out there somewhere, but I suppose I'll save that for when we're a little bit stronger than we are. Now we can head over to the east side, where we picked up the Strength HM, and I believe Shadow Claw was up to the north as well. Mount Mortar Waterfall Cave. Now, we could just surf over here and skip everything, which I suppose I'll show off because we might as well head this way while we're here. And I'm too lazy to put up a rappel, so we're just going to have to deal with the 1 or 2 random encounters we're going to get here. But once we get to the city across the water over here, I'll probably just cut it out, and while I remember, I should probably turn on battle animations, because I turned them off when I was looking for the unknown, otherwise I'd have to see myself use Thunder Wave 26 times. Hey, look, it's Suicune! Just when we were talking about the legendary beast. If you want to eventually catch him, you have to spot him in all of the places that we see him here. And this is probably the first place you would accidentally overlook being able to see Suicune, because you'd probably explore Cianwood City enough to find him, but since there's more than one way across this route through Mount Mortar, you might miss him if you don't look for him here. And there are a couple of apricorns down there I'm not going to bother with. The Super Potion I probably don't even need because I've been grinding for citrus berries off-screen, have about a dozen of them already. So surf our way across here, and we should arrive. Can't get that yet. I don't think we can get... Yeah, there's no way for us to get there. There's a fisherman over here. I should probably switch out to somebody who can take water hits a little more easily than you. Actually, I remember this guy. Because this is the guy, if he calls you for a rematch, may give you a water stone. So I fought this guy many more times than I probably need to. Quillfish! I think we might have run into one before. I didn't explain water poison type, which is why I'm using Dig. And Minimize is going to raise his evasion. Oh boy. Hopefully Dig hits, because I don't want to have to deal with... Really? We're going to be doing this now? You're going to be spamming evasion moves, and I'm going to be using a 2-hit move. Or 2-move hit. So every time... There we go. I didn't know how many turns I was going to have to wait to actually hit him with that. Well, I could have easily just used Krako, but I've been using Krako so much lately, I kind of want to spread the love a bit. So hopefully this guy will give us a phone call sooner rather than later, so we can pick up a Water Stone nice and easy, but if not, I'll just wait until we get into the other region. Because there's an easier way for us to get a Water Stone over there. And I forgot I moved HCB up in front. For some reason I thought I led with Lupus and switched out in battle, but oh well. Nidorina, the evolved form of Nidoran female. I'd venture a guess to say that you probably have Nidorino as well. And if we head inside, I'm pretty sure there's somebody that has their evolved forms as well. Kind of funny how that works. But you'll notice a lot of the trainers that we're going to be running into here are about the same, even lower level than the ones that we got when we went west from Ekrutik instead of east. And the reason for that is, I guess they expect you to go this way first. I've always gone towards Olivine and Cianwood before heading to the east and Mount Mortar, but I think it could go either way. They just block you when you get too far to the east over here. They make sure you have 7 badges before they allow you to progress further. But I'm not sure which they intended you to do first. I just always did it the way I'm doing it now. And because I was talking about it before, although I see a hiker down there, I don't know if this is probably the best idea. Because I don't think any hikers have Pokemon that Lupus is strong against, but I did promise him I'd lead with him, so I'm going to stick with him. But I don't know what the intended direction for you to go was. If they expected you to go this way first, so they put the less powerful Pokemon here? I'm really not too sure about that. I just can't think of many other Pokemon games where they give you at least some amount of freedom in terms of which direction you want to go. And Lupus wants to learn Beat Up, one of the most useless Dark-type moves in the game. Does damage for each party member you have active, but only 10 per, and it's physical, meaning it's probably the least helpful move he can learn. Who else you got? Geodude. Let's just wipe the floor with this guy. A couple of my pokes are close to evolving, and if I can help it, I'd like them to evolve at some point, eventually, perhaps, maybe, possibly, kind of. But we're almost twice the level of this thing. And a lot of the trainers that we were surfing towards just last week were a lot more powerful than these guys, so take your pick, I guess. I mean, none of the areas you go to should give you that much trouble, except if you decided to go for the areas I explored last week before you were really intended to, because you would be about 10 levels under them. But Magnitude Ground-type move, it can hit anywhere from Magnitude 4 to Magnitude 10. The higher the number, the greater the damage, but it's completely random. And heading all the way east here will lead us to Mahogany Town, home of the ninja? Is that multiple ninjas or just one ninja? Are you a ninja? Is this a this doesn't look like a house. No, nothing suspicious about it. No need to be alarmed. Totally the house with the ninjas. You a ninja? Oh, this guy does look like a ninja. Gyarados are moneymakers. You sell things? I actually have a couple of mushrooms to sell. If you're going to be taking them, I might as well just sell them to you. Silly guy. Totally nothing suspicious about him. So I should probably be giving him my business. You got any good stuff in here? No, you're selling tiny mushrooms for twice the price of what you took from me for. Okay. Not giving this guy any more business. What about this tree? Something suspicious about this tree. Antenna on top of it? Nobody finds that suspicious? Okay, moving on. Very small town. Red Gyarados. Gyarados aren't red, and they're certainly not in the lake. Oh well. Can we go any further? Nope. I don't think this guy's going to let us by until we have the badge from either this gym or all 7 we can have up to this point. Sure, I'll take one. Key items. Why is the Rage Candy Bar a key item? That doesn't make sense. It certainly wasn't in the originals. I don't remember if you can actually use it or not. I guess if it's a key item, you can't. Famous candy. Tourists like to take them home. I guess we can't use them. I forget what they did in the older games, though. But they certainly weren't key items. Black Cape. Radio waves. I wonder too, but of course, since this is the first time we get to a town, we can't go into the gym. Figures. Anybody of interest in the Pokemon Center? Team Rocket is back? I thought we got rid of them in the Slowpoke well. What are you talking about? And you have nothing to talk about either, so let's heal these guys up real quick. And now we're all set and ready to go, exploring everything there is for us to do in Mount Mortar, which really isn't that much, except pick up a couple of items. And down here on this route, you can't really find anybody of interest in SoulSilver. I believe in Heart Gold you can start finding Mankeys. But you'll find here in Mount Mortar, see that Marill in the background? He's only a 1% find in here, not really worth your time. Unless you really, really want a Marill for some reason. So I'm just going to put up some repels. You can also find in here Machop fairly easily. So if you didn't pick one up in the Cliff Cave, now might not be a bad time. If you want one. Not a bad physical attacker or fighting type. Speaking of fighting, why are you saying losing this time? Did you lose before? I feel sorry for you. But this is the guy that has the evolved form of Nidorina and Nidorino. Nidoking! Now when these two evolve, they gain the ground type as well. And both of them evolve via Moonstone. But they give a lot of experience for this point. We've got a Nidoqueen too. I guess I'll use Klaus because I know I've been neglecting him lately. I also feel kind of weird that my entire team with the respective Krako who's genderless is all male. Which is exactly the opposite of my Heart Gold run where everybody was female. I certainly didn't intend for that to happen. But it's kind of funny. And it also makes it very annoying if there's an opponent that's female and using Attract. Because I can't really do anything to dodge it. But oh well, there are a lot of areas here in Mount Mortar that we can't explore, mainly because we need Waterfall and Rock Climb, neither of which we're going to have anytime soon. And there should be an item down here as well. Might have been able to see this on the lower floor. It's a revive, nothing too bad. But you can see there's a whole area up here for us to explore. We can't get there yet. I believe you can at least look at that section from the middle side, if you remember when we were making our way across the water to get here, that there was an entrance to Mount Mortar from there as well. That just leads to a room with a couple of waterfalls, none of which we can climb yet. So let's pick up this one, a Max Repel. Keeps Pokemon away for 250 steps and is arguably more useful than the Super Repels, but they're not as cost-effective. But yeah, all I'm going to be doing here is picking up some items that are scattered around, because there aren't really too many trainers to fight in here, and there aren't any Pokemon that are worth my time. To be honest, I'm actually happy with the party that I have now. I'll probably be sticking with it for a majority of the game, but if I don't see myself changing any more than 1 or 2 party members. I think I'm pretty set for this point. Which is unusual, because normally, if I'm playing through a Pokemon game, I'm not going to have my party set until very, very late on, because there's always somebody you pick up later in the game that I just really like trying, and in this case it was going to be Lupus. But like I said when I hatched him from the egg I traded over, he'd take way too much time to get. At least when we get him later on. Another one of those walls we can't climb yet. We don't get him until the second half of the game, and by that point we'd be picking him up in the teens, I think? So he'd be about 30 levels under the team. Definitely not worth it. Which is why I hatched him from an egg. I've already explained this. I don't know why I'm explaining it to you again. There are a couple of other Pokemon I'd like to pick up and try out around here, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. What are you doing all the way down here with a Slowpoke, anyway? I mean, you figure you make it this far into the cave. Does your Slowpoke even know Strength? How did you get here? I mean, that's one thing I don't understand about... There are a lot of things I don't understand about Pokemon games. I don't know why I say the one thing so often. Because clearly, if I'm going to be saying the one thing I don't understand so much, I clearly have more problems than just one. But if you're going to have a trainer this far into the cave, beyond the point where you need a certain move to get there, why don't you have that Pokemon use that move? Like if you need Strength or Surf to get somewhere? How can you get there without it? That's not very fair, is it? I have to train one of my Pokemon to know one of those moves in order to get there. But they don't! That's reasonable. Is there an item in that rock? Indeed there is. I'm not sure if there's anything in the middle room. I suppose I'll check it for completeness' sake. And put up one more repel once we get into the water. Clearly the most exciting Pokemon episode ever. But it's something that has to be done. Because like I've said, I have a lot of exploring I'd like to do, considering I, like most of you, probably haven't explored these areas to their fullest extent anyway. And I figure as long as I'm here, I might as well get the most out of it and explore all the areas that I haven't fully explored yet. And I don't know if I can reach any of the items in there, so I'm just going to go straight down from here. And it looks like there may be some stuff down here as well. It's been a really long time since I've explored these sections, too. Or, I mean, some of these places I haven't even explored at all. Because just a couple of things down here. Full Restore, I mean, for this point in the game, that's actually very, very nice to have. It will restore your Pokemon to full HP, and heal any status conditions, so you can only imagine the gym leaders we run into later on are going to be abusing those to high hell, but for the time being, it's nice to have one of our own. It's also funny how the surfing music continues on despite the fact that we left the water 10 seconds ago. So let's see, is there anything else over to the left here? I wanted to say no. That's where we would come out later on if we explore the waterfall section. Is there anything down here, though? I want to say no, but there might very well be. Yeah, there is. I'm glad I looked. There's still a section over to the right that I have to explore, though. Haven't picked up too many PP-ups in this game, either. Man, these caves are just so much bigger than I remember. I'm also wondering why my sprite isn't showing up when I'm using the HMs anymore. Did I look to the left? Apparently I didn't. An Ultra Ball. How you feeling, Lupus, by the way? You've just been following me. Are you angry at me, Lupus? Usually when he... What was he doing? Usually when he cries like that, he's upset with me, but he didn't seem to be too upset. I guess he doesn't like surfing so much. Now, I did promise I'd start spreading the love around, so I suppose I should give this to... You know what, if... Who could use the speed? I mean, Kracko could definitely use the speed. But, I don't know, Crunch is a lot slower than I think he is, so I might as well just give it to him. And I don't know who gave us a phone call. If it was Tully, we just blew him off, and I lost my chance of getting a Water Stone, but it's very unlikely that he would have given us a rematch this soon. I don't remember when it is that the rematches may start to call. Or if that's even time-based, or if it's based on how far you are into the game. I honestly don't know. I imagine they wouldn't send you into a rematch if you weren't high enough level for it, but I didn't really do too much research into that. A Max Ether, I think that restores your PP to max for one particular move. Looks like we've picked up one of those already. I don't know why I didn't think about that. But I think that's about it for down here. Because I'm pretty sure we explored that area to the north up there. So if I get there and realize we have everything, or if our repel runs out, I'll probably just dig my way out of here. Yeah, let's do that. Dig is really convenient, but I know I still have an escape rope somewhere too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my sprite should be there. I don't know why it's not. And if this takes us to the proper side, which it didn't, hopefully we can make it all the way back to Ecruteak City without... not Ecruteak. Mahogany Town! One of the few cities in this place that's called Town. There we go. And with all of that out of the way, we can finally explore northward and head up to the Lake of Rage, where apparently there's a red Gyarados raging. This is UniversalGiant, and I'll meet you guys outside the Pokemon Center here next time.